Ah, the Masters. Welcome to the Why So Serious show. It is Masters Week. I'm Jesse Morrison alongside Alex Coyle. We have to talk like this just for this opening segment.
Hello,
Alex,
friends.
hello, friends. Alex, how excited are you for Augusta in November?
A tradition unlike any other.
The granddaddy of them all.
The Masters in November.
The Masters in November.
Never happened before.
Never happened before.
How about that?
But seriously, are you excited for the Masters? We've got Tiger defending his title. Can you believe that was last year?
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think I've ever been excited for a golf tournament in my life.
Even the Masters?
Maybe the Phoenix Open, but I'm not, like maybe the final round of the Masters last year, and then the Phoenix Open.
I'm gonna change to I'm changing to the Phoenix Open's theme song.
Stores July 7th, bitches.
Whoa!
Run safe harbor hours. This is the Phoenix Open's thing. Phoenix Open spits in the face of everything golf is known for.
Well, hang on. Just look back to we were at the Phoenix Open in the year 2020.
And it was like this.
And now looking back at it, what a super surf spreader event that was.
We don't know. It probably didn't spread.
Had to have been.
I doubt.
February. I was in February.
There were like 2 cases in the entire United States at
that were tested. Wild. What a wild time.
All right. Well, that was a crazy time. It was a very fun time. I'm not going to go into the reasons why it was an extremely fun time, but it was an extremely fun time, and we kept it super professional the whole time, didn't we, Alex?
It was a fun time. How about that? Radio Row at the Phoenix Open. How about that?
Radio Row at the Phoenix Open it was us and the Fanatic, and that's it. And we didn't get the good spot like we did on the driving range last year because that was a sponsor tent this year. And then, that was just a weird. That was a fun experience. But it's really not a good place to go watch golf.
No, it's not.
But Alex, NFL time. We gotta talk NFL.
Yep.
And we got to start off with the lead story of Antonio Brown making the Bucs a Super Bowl. I mean, Antonio Brown's presence leading to the Bucs loss because locker room cancer. I'm sure I saw this post on somebody's Facebook. I'm not going to say who it was, but they were talking about how the Antonio Brown effect led to this outcome yesterday. Because of course that's where hot take sports people go.
And he infected Tom Brady.
Yeah, of course.
Tom Brady didn't was only bad because Antonio Brown lives with him.
Yeah. He's totally rubbing off on Tom Brady in the wrong way.
100%.
TB12 method out the window, head case method in. Because Antonio Brown is there. How much of that game did you watch?
Too much. Way too much. More than I should.
I believe I watched
I needed Latavius Murray to score or to get 8 more yards, and I would have won my fantasy league. 8.
So
8.
So I tuned in the game when it was up 20, when it was already 28-0, and instead of doing the right thing and just saying turning it off, I was like, oh no, the Bucs got this. And it took me until like the 7th minute of the 4th quarter to finally say the Bucs don't have this. And I should have just turned the television off immediately. But apparently, I've decided I'm a terrible American football guy. Like, it's not even my favorite sport, but for some reason, I'm gonna sit there and watch entire Jets Patriots. I don't know why.
Yes,
I don't know why. Like, why am I doing that?
It's the only sport out at this point.
Like, I tweeted football, all caps. Like,
Put on
and
the poll. Football? Question mark.
yeah, it was so stupid. Like, it was like I don't know why I do this, and like I don't turn on Reds and in like Cubs in the middle of July, but I turn on Jets and Patriots on Monday night. Is it the presentation? Like, I don't know.
That is a great question that none of us have the answer to.
I don't even like football is just, like, it's not even my favorite sport. It's not even my top two. It's my third favorite sport. I like basketball better. I like baseball better. But for some reason, I watch the most football.
I tend to agree. With that.
Like
Now, college basketball over NBA basketball, but yes.
Here we go again. What was the poll that I wanted to put on? Oh yeah, football. I think this
Football question mark?
I think this is going to get a lot of votes.
Hashtag football.
I did hashtag NFL. But, yeah, go vote in the poll on letter Y. So serious show. Actually, this is the first time that we'll actually have the poll live tomorrow, and you can still vote. And
at the time that this airs,
it's actually it's Monday now, but the time it will air is Tuesday at 11 p.m. I didn't use my usual intro, or maybe I did, but I don't remember. But how about Tua time?
The Dolphins are 2-0 with Tua.
Tua and 0.
2-0.
Tua. Tua airs the balls out. Two. Devontae. Tua airs the balls out. Two. What?
Did you actually ever execute that?
What? The song? Tua let the dogs out or airs the balls out?
Yeah.
No, they stopped doing Tua songs.
Oh, that's.
And I called in on the last day that they were doing it on the Levitard show, and it was just busy. I think they were, everybody was calling in, so I didn't get the chance.
It's tough.
But that Bucks game is giving me all sorts of problems, Alex.
The Bucks game?
Yeah, because I really want to know who's good in the NFC, and I can't figure it out, and it's giving me a lot of problems.
Well, there's another game that kind of should make you question who's not really. It's an AFC team, but still, like, how the heck do the Cowboys play anywhere near the Steelers with the fourth-string quarterback, the savior in Garrett Gilbert?
Garrett Gilbert was so bad.
Huh?
Garrett Gilbert was so bad at Texas. Do you remember him at Texas?
I do not. I've literally never heard of this guy.
Do you remember the national championship game against Alabama that Colt McCoy played in?
Vaguely. That's the first one.
Colt McCoy got his shoulder smashed in. And then Garrett Gilbert came in and was awful.
He's that old? Is he older than Andy Dalton?
No, I don't think he's older than Andy Dalton because he was like a freshman that year. But he's older than you think. He's been around a while. Garrett Gilbert is 29 years old. Yeah, he's been around a very long time, and he's been on a lot of different teams. And he ended up being so bad at Texas that he transferred to SMU, where he wasn't even like one of these guys like Driscoll.
That's a theme. Yeah,
it's transfer
from Texas to SMU.
Yeah, it wasn't even
like the Texas schools to SMU.
Yeah, it wasn't even like Jeff Driscoll when he transferred to, I believe Louisiana Tech and was amazing. It was like he had 28 touchdowns. It wasn't like he went there and like lit it up for 4. But somehow I believe he got drafted. Yeah, he got drafted in the 6th round. He was one of like the top high school quarterbacks coming out of high school, and he got drafted. But yeah, I can't believe he is still around. This is technically like his 7th year of professional football.
Now this also brings up the question that I've been thinking about. He was a 4th-string quarterback for the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones probably not the owner to do this, but you're telling me that in that kind of offense, I think you know where I'm going with this. With that kind of offense, Very similar quarterback to Dak. Runs maybe a little more, but you're telling me Colin Kaepernick can't get a shot?
Jerry Jones is Jerry
Jerry Jones
Jones.
not going to do that, but like
Jerry Jones
that's the type of offense that
Jerry Jones cut the player that kneeled on his team this year. The only one because he was too fat and out of shape.
Oh, Dontari Poe?
Yeah. And he was the only one that took a knee. Only one that took a knee, but he got cut because he was fat.
Okay. Which isn't wrong, but
yeah, I mean,
but purposefully, like he's a large man purposefully.
Yes, he's like a nose tackle. He's like 310 pounds or something like that.
He's got a cannon of an arm.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't really know why. I don't know why nobody has signed Colin Kaepernick. If you look at like,
it just makes you think.
If you go through all the quarterbacks on the rosters, we've got people like Nathan Peterman from the 90s rock band, the Nathan Peterman Experiment. Yeah, so I don't understand it. It's just total.
That'd be a perfect opportunity for Washington.
No, I really am excited for Alex Smith to be the starter.
To be a backup.
Nope. I hope that Kyle Allen has a nice recovery on his ankle, but I'm glad that he's out 4 months. And then Dwayne Haskins was terrible, and so I don't want to ever see him again.
Bring Kaepernick in for the number 2.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm good with that. I'm good with him coming in as the backup, but I want Alex Smith because if you didn't, other than the 2 interceptions at the end of the game, which were bad, Alex Smith was fantastic yesterday. He proved again that he is the best quarterback on this Washington roster, and so he's fully healed. Let him play football. He is a 36-year-old man that can make his own decisions. Let him play football. That's my opinion on the matter.
And also, why are there guys like Nick Mullins starting games?
Yeah, Nick Mullins and their other quarterback, Beathard.
Oh, C.J. Beathard from Iowa.
What?
Oh, okay. Joe Flacco made a throw today.
Joe Flacco was very good today.
Literally made me fall off the couch.
I've been tweeting about that, and you can't spell elite without Joe Flacco. He is elite again. I can't believe in 2020 that we have elite Joe Flacco back. Like it might be the highlight of the year.
No, that is just so false.
But like, come on, he was elite tonight.
That one throw he made, like off 1 foot, like fading back, like
was it the Jamison Crowder touchdown?
No, it was the Brashad Perryman touchdown.
Okay, because the Jamison Crowder touchdown was also a dime.
He scored a touchdown and didn't start him in my fantasy league this week.
All right, well, we were gonna talk some Tua. We were gonna talk some Jeremy's draft board,
Hey, Cowboys, number 3 pick right now. How about that?
Yeah. Do you just want them to lose?
The thing is, I don't know what area we need to pick because number 1, you don't need a quarterback, and number 2, there's so many areas that just are bad. It's like I just don't know. I honestly have no clue. Well, what we need, no idea. Offensive line, maybe. Defensive line, secondary. Secondary's not that bad. I mean, the defense has played well the past couple weeks. I just no clue what we would need. Most ideal would they get a top 2 or 3 pick, trade it away for just a ton of draft capital and just draft a bunch of people.
Nobody ever. That's one of the stupidest arguments ever in sports. When do teams actually trade away their top picks? Like they never do that. Nobody, unless except the Bears. They teams will swap in like the top 5.
But if you look at what I'm not saying like go full rebuild, but if you look at what draft capital can do, just look at what the Raiders are doing. Very solid team that is continuing to get better.
Yeah, but that's the exception. Most teams, unless you have a quarterback or a really good pass rusher or a really good left tackle, you're not going to trade out of the top 5 because teams always look for pass rushers, left tackles, and quarterbacks. And
which 2 of those 3 we need.
Yeah. Other than you might not. It's not time to draft a left tackle, right?
Well, you wouldn't draft a left tackle specifically, but you would draft an offensive lineman. Now, the pass rusher is something.
Okay, well then you wouldn't draft a right tackle or a left guard or a center in the top 5. So maybe you do trade out. The Cowboys are a team that could trade out. For 2 other picks maybe in the first round or something.
Right. Now, here's what the Cowboys are going to do, and I know this for a fact. They're going to draft Ian Book in the 6th round. And I'm going to get an Ian Book Cowboys jersey.
Oh, gosh. I can't stand it. Okay, well, we should just get into that. We should just go ahead and get into that. We'll talk about ASU in a minute, but I just want to talk about that Notre Dame game and how bogus of a win it was. Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my Lord! No, don't even start with that.
If Clemson had Trevor Lawrence and y'all had beaten them Trevor Lawrence, then that's a good win.
I don't care. They're the number 1 team in the country.
No, this was not an upset in my personal record book. Not an upset in my personal record book.
I would agree with. I could agree with that, but still, it's a massive win. Massive win.
Nope.
It's huge.
Nope. Do it against Trevor.
No.
Do it against Trevor. I'm sorry. Do it against Trevor.
But it makes you control your own destiny for the Pac-12 for the college football playoff now.
Okay. Well, you're gonna play. You're gonna probably play Clemson.
Yeah, right.
In the ACC championship with Trevor Lawrence, and they are going to wreck Notre Dame. They're going to wreck Notre Dame.
No, the Notre Dame defense is way too good to get.
It'll be like 38-10. It's gonna be one of those classic games. You know how pissed Trevor was probably on Saturday night?
Why was he on the sideline? Can you tell me why he was on the sideline?
He was fine to, he's fine to.
So the reason he didn't play was because he didn't practice, correct?
Pretty much, and he cleared COVID protocols, I think, during the week at some point. And so, yeah, he was allowed to travel with the team. He just wasn't up to game shape yet. And I think they have to run all those cardiovascular tests on him to make sure he doesn't have myocarditis and stuff. But speaking of that, another thing that I wanted to go into was how horrible your student section is. Trash student section, charging the field. There was
so bad.
Also, how were there that many students in the stadium already? There's a lot of things to go into there. That looked like a normal student rush the field, amount of people that would rush the field, and it was ridiculous. And there was no social distance.
100% agree.
I'm really glad that Notre Dame has actually taken action about this with the testing thing. However,
now I will say it's very hypocritical by the person that is.
True.
The face of these is, that's all I'll say. But the actual institution of doing these coming down, laying the hammer down on stuff like that, yes. But the person in charge of that of the university is kind of hypocritical in this sense, and that's all I'll say right here.
Also, this proves my point of Notre Dame not being a program, because Notre Dame is big.
I tweeted about this.
Notre Dame is big, bad Notre Dame, apparently.
I tweeted about this, yeah.
If they were a small school or Rutgers or Duke or Wake Forest, if they were one of those schools and they beat the number 1 team in the country, then you rush the field. But this, and I'm talking about in a normal year, but this was big, bad Notre Dame. Big story program. They don't rush the field. It's like when UNC rushed the court against Duke one time, and Dickie V went off about that. Too much pride from this school. They should have too much pride to do a field storming, especially during COVID. It's a disgrace to the program, and it's a disgrace to the history if they think they're some sort of program. Now, I don't really take issue to it because I know that they're not anything special like every year.
That is
They're not going to win the national championship. I'm sorry.
That is one of the most ridiculous things that you've ever said because
No, it's not.
Clemson rushed the field either this last year or the year before.
I believe Clemson rushes the field after every game.
Huh?
I think it's a tradition at Clemson to rush the field after every game.
Then that's definitely not a program. What the heck is that?
It's just after every win. It's a tradition. It's okay if it's a tradition.
That's bogus.
No,
That's a
it's
bogus
not.
tradition.
You want to celebrate with your players. I don't believe I just think that Notre Dame has too much pride there. If it's not like a set in stone
I agree. I completely agree, but it doesn't make them a non-program just because the students get overexcited and rush the
there
field.
are like 4 programs in the entire country.
Notre Dame is one of them.
Why can't you admit, like I admit, that my team is not a program?
Because you're Virginia Tech, we're Notre Dame.
Yes, but Virginia Tech over the past 25 years is a highly better team than Notre Dame over the last 20 years.
Notre Dame, what are you talking about?
Virginia Tech won 10 games like 8 years in a row.
Notre Dame has lost 3 games in the past 3 or 4 years total.
Yeah, but remember the Charlie Weiss era with the 3-9 records? In that time period, Virginia Tech was winning ACC championships, going to the ACC championship game like every year, going to 3 Orange Bowls with Tyrod Taylor, and then a Sugar Bowl with Logan Thomas as quarterback.
When I think of football, I don't think of Virginia Tech, and when I think of Virginia Tech, I definitely don't think football.
It's what they're going for. It's one of the biggest. It's the biggest program in the state of Virginia.
Well, okay. I'd argue James Madison has a more successful program.
They're an FCS school.
But they have a more successful program than that. But
no, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech went to a national championship game, with Michael Vick.
Notre Dame went to one more recently. What's your argument? Notre Dame went to a college football. Okay, I don't care. Notre Dame went to a college football playoff.
I'm just saying. Virginia Tech is a pretender program, just like Notre Dame is a pretender program.
No. Virginia Tech's not even a pretender. They're just not.
Yeah, right now.
They're not.
Right now they aren't, but they kind of used to be.
I argue that they pretty much never have.
They look at their record in the 2000s and early 2010s.
And I guarantee you,
that's 10 wins.
I guarantee you it's not in the top 15 of wins.
Maybe not, but Frank Beamer is like Frank Beamer is in like the top 5 of all-time wins of college football.
Frank Beamer, great coach, but he also coached for so long. You're gonna get some wins.
Yeah, but they were considered a powerhouse program.
I completely disagree with you.
They were definitely considered powerhouse
programs. When I think of powerhouse programs, and I'll put this list together: Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, LSU, and I'd put Auburn there.
You can't put Notre Dame in the class.
I'll put USC.
No. Notre Dame is in Notre Dame. USC.
Yes, 100%.
What?
100%. Yes.
They haven't been good in 15 years. They haven't been good in 15 years.
They won the Rose Bowl like 3 years ago. 2017, they won the Rose Bowl.
I don't care. It was been like 15 years.
Won a reasonable bowl game.
They won the Orange Bowl with Tyrod.
What, 7 years ago?
It was like 12, but...
Okay, my point exactly. Like, come on.
No, SC is no. There were like...
When was the last time Virginia Tech beat anybody, beat Notre Dame? When was the last time?
I don't know, but they beat Ohio. They beat Ohio State the year that Ohio State won the national championship with Zeke.
Yes. Okay, that's one.
At the Horseshoe.
Yes, but then they lost when didn't they get absolutely destroyed the year that was come back? Or was that a close game? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't a close game because Michael Brewer, the quarterback of Tech, got it completely drilled. But no, Tech was a very good program, but again, I'm not putting them in that. I'm putting them in the pretender category with Michigan.
You can put Notre Dame in a pretender category.
Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State.
Penn State. Well, okay.
USC.
Okay, those, yeah, fine. You can put those in the category.
Even Oregon is in a pretender category.
Oregon is just the recent success. They haven't had that like.
Yeah, but when Oregon's this big bad team apparently, and then they go with this offense always, and then they go to a national championship or playoff semifinal or whatever, and lay a goose egg.
Here's what I'll do. Then. We'll do tiers. Tier 1.
Bama,
Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State.
That's it.
3. That's it. Tier 2.
LSU sometimes.
No, because they can't do it in multiple years. Tier 2, the Auburns, the Georgias, the LSUs, the Notre Dames, the USCs, the Oregons.
I think I'm gonna put USC
and Oklahoma.
Okay.
Tier.
I don't know if I'd put Oregon is above USC on a tier. USC is at least tier 3 now.
No, I disagree.
What about Wisconsin? Are they tier 2?
They have not gotten that big win. They just can't get that big win. Like when was last? Like I want to say that. Like Big Ten wise, I want to say that. When have they gotten that big win? Michigan's also in that tier 2, I'd say.
Michigan is tier 3, 100%. They just got killed by Indiana. 38-10. 38-10 to Indiana. Michigan, Big Blue. Come on. Go Blue or whatever they are.
I still think tier 2 for that. Tier 3 is the Penn States, the Texases, the trying to think
Florida? What about Florida?
Florida would be that tier 2, tier 3 range, leaning towards tier 3. Like teams like that, like Wisconsin, like.
Are we gonna put Florida State in there, or are they just too far out at this point?
They're too far out at this point. They got to turn that ship around. I said ship. I'm trying to think of other teams. Nobody really in the Big 12 that I.
TCU, a tier 3 team.
No,
Texas
they have
Tech.
not been good since in a long time. No, Texas Tech. I mean, and then you get into tier.
Boise State's a tier 3 team.
That is a name that popped into my head, but again.
Boise State, maybe BYU is really good. UCF might be a tier 2 team.
But they also had that 0-12 year. You can't forget about the 0-12 year.
Yeah, but that was like sandwiched in between Blake Bortles leading them to the Fiesta Bowl and then like
the national championship.
And the claimed national championship. Like might put them as a tier. They're a tweener between tier 2 and tier 3.
And then tier 5, you got the Arizona States, the
Virginia Tech,
the Virginia Tech, the
Purdue.
No, Purdue is Purdue is tier like 29. Like, come on. No.
They're very good. Northwestern's tier 5. Maryland.
No.
Have you seen
okay.
Talia Tagovailoa?
Again, Maryland is not like
big win this weekend. Big win.
Yes, but is Penn State good? You have to start asking yourself that. Is Penn State actually
they were projected to be very good.
Yeah, so was Michigan.
Yeah.
Look at his
Michigan State's probably a tier 4 in a normal year.
So is Minnesota.
I don't know about
Michigan State's that tier 4, tier 5. Trying to think of other Texas A&M. That's a tier 3 team. Texas A&M is a tier.
Texas A&M. No. Screw Texas A&M. They're like a tier. They're like a tier 6. Texas A&M. They got
the 5 in the country right now. I mean,
they got the big 12th man, like all these traditions, but they're like
that's fraudulent.
Look at their history. They're really 5 team like every year. 7-5 team like every year.
And for Jimbo to do Florida State like that, wild.
Yeah, Florida State's a better job. I don't understand.
100% agree.
I don't understand. Like Florida State is a way better job. It's the most confusing thing in college football. Any other schools that we're missing? I forgot the tier 100. I forgot the tier 100 schools like Virginia and
U of A,
Purdue,
Boston College,
Boston. I hate, but then there's a tier above.
Utah.
Utah. Washington, I can't stand Washington. Washington's actually probably like a tier 3.
Washington's a tier 3.
They made a playoff like 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Are they the last Pac-12 team to make a playoff, or did Oregon go to one after them?
I think they are the last one. But also, have you seen their recruiting class that came in for this year?
Washington's?
It's insane.
Really?
It is insane. Just look up. They have like 6 5-stars or something. They're going to be really good, and it's going to be.
Stanford's
really
is tier 3 or tier 4.
Stanford is really fallen off the past couple years. Cal might be replacing Stanford in that tier 3 or tier 4 spot. I gotta see them win.
Looking good. Their head coach, man.
They're not gonna. I'm gonna have to see.
If I were Michigan, that's one of the guys I target when I'm hiring after the season.
If you're Michigan,
100%. I'm looking at Michigan. I'm looking at Coastal Carolina. I'm looking at the Cal guy. I'm looking at the Coastal Carolina guy.
Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze to Michigan.
No. Hugh Freeze can stay at that university. That
Liberty. So okay.
Lynchburg, Virginia, right?
Yes, where I went to high school. Liberty. I'm kind of a Flames football fan. Little bit of
university.
Terrible university. I like the football program though, and I have to say though that I hate them. I can't stand them now. They go
the football guy.
They beat the Hokies in Lane Stadium.
One of the most wild finishes to the game.
I didn't watch it because I was in the Coliseum covering ASU. I was not really paying attention other than checking the score a few times. And I was just like, okay, Tech's got this. Like, they're coming back. They're winning. And then I looked, like, I kept getting alerts like that Liberty was making it interesting. And then I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, it is a new low point. I don't care that Liberty was ranked and Virginia Tech was not. Like,
Virginia Tech
is shameful.
Was 7-1 or was minus 700 favorites. Minus 700. That means you have to bet $7 to win $1. That's how heavily favored Virginia Tech was.
Virginia Tech's probably got 6 or 7 NFL players on their team. And
lots of low-key, very good defensive backs from Virginia Tech.
Always have very good defensive backs. Have you looked at the defensive backs? Like, they call themselves Virginia Tech is nicknamed DBU. But like literally, like Kendall Fuller, Kyle Fuller, D'Angelo Hall, who was the guy for the Seahawks? Cam Chancellor went to Tech.
They're tier 4 DBU.
They're really good. They've been producing.
No, okay, fine. They're tier 2 DBU.
Yeah, they're really
LSU,
good.
Ohio State, and Texas
And all of their defensive backs will somehow play for Washington. Along with the Washington football team, if you look at their roster, it's like Virginia Tech, Alabama, Virginia, and Ohio State, like the entire roster. But but that was the most disgraceful loss, and that includes when they lost to JMU at home in 2010. The game that I was at. No, it's fine. Tech won the ACC championship game that year. They got back on track and won the ACC championship game. They got killed by Andrew Luck in the Orange Bowl, but it's fine. They that season erased. Tyrod was amazing. Like that season completely erased what happened early on that year.
Remember when DeShone Kizer, I think it was DeShone Kizer, threw the Hail Mary to beat you guys?
I probably didn't watch that game.
Actually, that might have been Virginia.
I think it was Virginia. I don't remember much of the Notre Dame Tech games, honestly.
Probably a good thing for your sake.
Yeah, but it was an unbelievably disgraceful loss. I went to a Liberty Virginia Tech game when Liberty was still in the FCS. It was like 37-0. It's such a disgrace, and I can't wrap my mind around it. Tech needs to fire their coach. Like, too many of these losses when he's been their head coach. Beamer's only 74. Bring him back. That's all I gotta say.
His
Shane Beamer.
Where is he coaching?
Georgia, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, bring him
Yeah,
in.
bring in Shane Beamer. We need more. Honestly, everybody would kind of complain about Beamer because of he was a defensive coach, but like his offensive coordinator that he liked to keep around in various roles liked to call draw plays on 3rd and 10, and it was so annoying. And so
For some reason, that screams Brian Kelly.
yeah,
Like that screams like
again, not
17 Brian Kelly.
again, pretender programs like to do stuff.
Okay, all right.
Pretender programs like to do stuff like that.
That was at the time when I can't remember what his name was, but it was a former ASU offensive coordinator. Was the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. Can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. But speaking of, I don't know. I'm not going to call them that, but USC pretender program, and they beat Arizona State on Saturday. I was there. You were on the call and weren't, but I was there. I don't know. I don't understand it. But that game, unbelievable. I was just in shock the entire just like the entire rest of the day. Like I just couldn't believe that happened.
If I hear 4th and 9 one more time, my mind's gonna blow because the amount of times
on the second half call.
USC, yeah. The amount of times that USC had 4th and 9 and converted it, but couldn't convert a 4th and 1. Like every time it was 3rd and 9 or 4th and 9, Drake London was the target, and he caught it and converted it every single time.
Like
it was amazing. Like it was just crazy. He was the go-to guy on 3rd or 4th and long, and I don't have the stats to back that up right now, but it just seemed like every single time he was there, caught the game-winning what would be the game-winning touchdown, and that onside kick. So many things wild on that play.
Or special teams play by ASU.
Just bad coverage on the hands team. Ricky Pearsall leaving his feet. Like I get going to the ball, but the base.
I really feel for him because he's a great kid. Like
yes, right. A hometown hero, yes.
Yeah.
It looked like Merlin Robertson might have had the ball like in his possession with the knee down.
Also, there
was a flag. Should have been a flag on USC. Like I'm not making excuses, but there were so many elements of that play that were just.
It shouldn't have gotten to
it shouldn't right. It shouldn't even got to that point.
It shouldn't have got like that. It doesn't matter if there's a penalty there. Like it could have been prevented no matter what by ASU.
100% agree.
So therefore, you're not gonna yell at that. Also, in the last drive of the game, like Jeremy was telling me that he would have liked to see Jaden run more, but like again, it shouldn't have been at that point. So
and
freshman wide receivers, awful.
Yeah, when you lose Frank Darby, you're kind of screwed at that position in terms of experience.
Yeah, all we heard about was how great.
But
Wilson and Bunkley Shelton are going to be. They're going to be amazing, and then they weren't.
This was their first game. You can't no matter how much raw talent they have, you can't lean on them this early in a year. And I thought Bunkley Shelton was okay until he fumbled. Like he was fine. But Johnny Wilson, you got to catch the football. Like you're a wide receiver for a reason. That's why you don't play defensive back.
Couldn't get on the same page with Daniels at all.
No. And I'm surprised Andre Johnson wasn't
no Chad Johnson Jr. really. He didn't
No, he wasn't even on a depth chart. But Andre Johnson, like we heard about him and how he was getting a rapport with Jaden Daniels. Didn't see him on the field, but the running backs were phenomenal. I mean,
running backs were great. But one more thing on the receivers is Jordan Porter and Ricky Pearsall. I would have liked to see a little bit more from them.
Jordan Porter was the target on the last drive.
Yeah,
he was. Like he was like every single play.
Yeah, but I still could have seen more out of him.
Right, because like the stat was nobody except for Rashad White had more than 28 yards receiving. Only 5 different receivers caught a pass.
Jaden was under 50%.
Under 50%, like 138 yards, I think was the net.
Great. The rushing attack. My sidebar that I wrote on the game was, if you want to check it out, devilsdigest.com. I wrote this weekend 2 articles on the game. One Saturday on the the running backs, and then one Sunday on the newcomers. And my sidebar was just about how basically the rushing attack, the running backs led my story, but I talked about how Jaden was really good.
I am curious to see what the plan was with Daniel Ngata. Never saw him on the field.
He played. He just didn't play. I don't think he played on offense because I didn't notice in the entire game, but they get. I don't know if you know this, but there's a participation report in the stats that they send to us, and I use that for my newcomer reports, and he was included in that report. So I was like, he must have gotten in on special teams at some point, but I don't even think he went back to return kicks or anything. So
no, and we did. I don't think we did. Obviously, never saw him touch the ball. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna use three-headed monster." Just never saw him. But yeah, I'm sure game plan.
It would have been really nice and to see that scrimmage a couple weeks ago. I think Oregon media was allowed into that. So to their scrimmage at Autzen. So I would have liked to see that personally, because I was overall my takeaways from the game is that this team is still too young to win.
Yeah, I agree. And they still had a 13-point lead with under 3 minutes left.
In that point of the game, I was like, okay, they're going 7-0. They are going to the college football playoff. I was like, this team is headed to the college football playoff. And
that was the course. That was what that game decided.
Yeah.
Who from the Pac-12 South was going to represent the conference if they won the Pac-12 championship? So, okay, that was going to choose, because the way the collision course works and looks, if you look at the schedule, Oregon 6-0 heading to Pac-12 champion. Winner of this game 6-0 heading to Pac-12 championship. Winner goes to college football playoff. And for 57 minutes, ASU had that.
And it looked even better for ASU because Cal was their second hardest.
Right, exactly.
Opponent. And Cal, that game might be canceled. So you're looking at a 5-0 ASU team heading to a 6-0. So,
and even if that game is played too, it's a better resume because that's probably the second or third best team from the North.
Yeah. So, but and when they got that touchdown and made it 27-21,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know about this one. And they got that onside kick, and I was like, oh.
I definitely don't know about this one,
right. But overall, I just wanted to say before we move on from college football, because we've literally been talking about this for 30 minutes, but it's good. We're much better than last week. But I just wanted to say Coliseum is beautiful. New renovations are phenomenal. You can see the Hollywood from the press box. You can see the Hollywood sign and downtown LA. So that's wonderful. Next to it is LAFC Stadium. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Bank with a C.
Yeah. Extremely nice stadium. And then we also went and checked out the new stadium in Inglewood, SoFi. Took pictures there. And then also the Forum. I've never been over in that area, so it was cool to see the Forum. So much iconic stuff has been done at the Forum, so that was awesome. And then we passed by Honda Center and Angel Stadium. Mm-hmm. So got to see both of those. So that was awesome. And yeah, great experience. Other than there's my little card,
nice
spot, but other than very well done on the protocols. I felt safe in there. I felt safe I felt safe without fans. The players on both sides. Most USC was better, I will say, but the players on both sides did a really good job providing the energy for the, and replacing the.
You could tell.
Yeah, and
there was watching on TV. You could tell.
There was good crowd noise. There was some cardboard. There was some fake crowd noise pumped in. It was kind of annoying because it was the same loop over and over again. So that kind of got annoying. But, they had a game mix of music, and they did a nice job pregame with playing a performance of the band from a previous year. So, and yeah, so only funny part was when the national anthem started. And they didn't really warn us about the national anthem. So you see the national anthem starts playing and everybody's just like, and so that was funny. But they were like national anthem, and we all stood up. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, overall great experience. I was glad that I got to go, and it was fun. But yeah, we should move on. I got some news and notes for you.
Sounds good.
So I got some news and notes for you. First of which, our guy Scott Disick is back on the path dating, and he's 37 years old, and he's been known to do this before, but he went on a date with a 19-year-old.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, 19-year-old Scott Disick went on a date with her. She is the daughter of one of the Real Housewives of New York. So
he could actually be her dad.
Yeah, it's Hollywood though.
Like a high school relationship could be her dad.
It's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's Hollywood, and anything pretty much happens. Yeah, the age gap relationships are big there, and what is extra weird about this is that it's the second time that he's done this, because he dated Sophia Richie, Lionel Richie's, I believe, youngest daughter.
Really?
Yes, who was also friends with Kylie Jenner when they were like kids. Like he knew her. Like when, so yeah, that's the extra weird thing here. But yeah, he was seen out with her. We don't know what it means, but definitely creepy.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, on par, on brand.
It's very on brand. But second thing is McDonald's. They have brought out the McPlant out.
We love McDonald's.
We do love McDonald's. I really like McDonald's, but the McPlant. I don't know how I feel about that title.
You know what? Yes, that's weird. But did you see that the Impossible, the company that creates all the Impossible burgers and stuff, the stock plummeted because McDonald's came out with a rival thing? Unbelievable, unbelievable how funny that is. Unbelievable.
It's just such a terrible name. Like
the McPlant.
Can I get a McPlant?
I'm gonna McPlant my fist in your face.
Like, have you had an Impossible Burger before?
Not to my knowledge.
It's really weird. Like, it is so much like the actual thing. It's like if you ever had a veggie burger, you're like, okay, this is a veggie burger.
Right, yeah.
But like the Impossible Burger is like there's some sort of weird thing in it. There's gotta be, because it tastes so much like burger. Like, I don't know. But like, I'm not down. Like, I understand why it's being done, because we don't want to keep killing rainforests to put cows in there so we can eat our crappy little
more greenhouse gases.
Yeah, more greenhouse gases so we can eat
more plants.
But like, you can call it like, I don't know,
McPossible burger.
Yeah, the McPossible burger. Like, that's so much better. There's so many different.
No. Listen, call it the McPossible. Bring back Kim Possible and partner with Disney.
Wow, I think that was a Disney show. Yeah, wow, that is a great.
Maybe I can pull some marketing strings at the old McDonald's company.
It's a really good take, and yeah, but like being me and being guy that goes to McDonald's, I'll probably go to McDonald's and be like trying to McPlant, because I fall for fast food promotional items.
The McRib.
What?
McRib's coming back.
Once a year, it always comes back.
But it might be for good.
Really?
Who knows?
Doesn't that kill the McRib, though?
Put it
Like,
on the poll. Do they always say the McRib is back forever?
do you like the McRib?
I have never had a McRib, and
I've never had a McRib either.
I will never have that. That just looks awful.
It's that thing that it's like the barbecue sandwich at school. Like at middle school.
You don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it.
Also, did your middle school, I'm trying to think. I was talking to Jeremy about this earlier this week. I don't know, but did your middle school have corn dog nugget day?
Heck yes.
Okay, there's corn dog nugget day. Was the pizza even worse than like ASU Taylor Place pizza?
Our pizza was actually pretty solid. We had decent pizza.
Yeah. Did you have what was called Max sticks?
Yes.
Okay.
We had cheesy breadsticks and maxi sticks.
Yeah, those were a big staple.
Yeah.
Do you have taco day with the crunchy shells?
Vaguely remember that, but we had breakfast for lunch. We had
French toast sticks, right?
French toast sticks, sometimes pancakes, kind of flip flopped. French toast sticks were always better.
Do you say always bad?
Always better than the pancakes. Pancakes were trash.
Did they have the egg that was circular with cheese in it that was folded in half?
No, we had like actual eggs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, bummer, because the egg with cheese in it folded in half was a great staple.
Actually, you know what? That might have made a couple appearances. Might have.
Do you ever get cheesy garlic flatbread?
Towards the end, like 5th grade, middle school, and then high school.
Yeah, we did too. Cheesy garlic flatbread day was insane.
I feel like all schools get the food from the same one place.
Oh yeah, because Michelle Obama did her like healthy food campaign. It really wasn't healthy. Because we got the cheesy garlic flatbread, but it was the literal best thing. It was so good. Like I thought kids would be like, garlic, but like it was popular with the pickiest eaters at the school.
Oh yes, but I will say the salads became a lot better when there was a regime change. The salads were very, very good.
What was the poll?
And I hate salad. I hate salad with a passion.
What was the poll you wanted me to put out?
Is the McRib always back forever?
I love how Apple doesn't autocorrect McRib. Like it seems like we have a family friend that like awaits the McRib.
I mean, it just sounds repulsive.
It looks like, you know how most fast food looks amazing in commercials? It looks terrible.
What's more repulsive sounding, the McRib or pulled pork?
What do you mean? Like just general pulled pork?
Like the word pulled pork should not be called pulled pork. It just sounds like my shoulder is getting ripped off the bone.
You know why it's called pulled pork?
I mean, pulled pork tastes very good, but pulled pork just
you know why it's called pulled pork though, right?
Why? Because you pull.
I've worked at a barbecue place, and you get the pork and you pull it off of.
Yes, but when you say pulled pork, does that just not sound like pulled pork?
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad.
I'll send you a video that might make you change your mind. It's with Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert.
What is it on?
Hang on. I'll actually have to find that.
What was that noise? That was terrible. What was that noise?
What noise?
I just heard I don't know. It sounded like somebody like ripping gas or something.
Oh, this?
Dude, yeah, I think you're like moving your.
Let me move my.
It's the McRib always back for it. I did hashtag McDonald's. I wonder if that's a well put in hashtag. Also, anybody that hates on McDonald's goes there like 5 times a year, at least. McDonald's is extremely popular, and it's for a reason because it's good, especially their breakfast. The McGriddle is the greatest thing.
Oh, yeah, yes. Okay, hold on. I'll send you this video. Terrible radio, but I'll send you the video.
Do you get a McGriddle or do you get something else?
I used my childhood was like McGriddle Central was
Which McGriddle do you get? The sausage, egg, and cheese, or the bacon, egg, and cheese?
sausage, 100%.
I sometimes get one of each. But the best one that they've ever had is the chicken one. Have you had the chicken McGriddle yet?
I have not.
The chicken McGriddle is where it's at. That is great, and it's a lot cheaper than the regular McChicken, which is ridiculously expensive.
Interesting.
It's like $5 for a McGriddle.
Shall we get to what are we doing?
A good egg McMuffin is extremely good. No,
Ooh,
we have
bacon and cheese McMuffin. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Hash browns, yes. Orange juice, yes.
You get the orange juice. I get
there. The orange juice is amazing at McDonald's.
So I've got one more thing before we get to this what are we doing segment, which will be our last segment because I don't want to talk Bachelor today. Unfortunately, we don't have the full cast to do so. But our guy, Mr. Hampel, he was featured in a Monday Night Football commercial today.
How are they going to keep players engaged?
On ESPN.
Was he really?
They play in front of empty gyms. How are they going to keep players engaged? We just sit here and hope that they can make it work.
It's coming up.
We didn't know if we were going to get here. We're here. Tonight, we begin this 2020 season playing.
There he is.
What?
Did you see it? He was outside of
Buffalo.
He was outside of Salem Field in Buffalo, where he was like ended up getting like a police escort off of that spot because it was like too close to the stadium. Pandemic Zach Hampel season was the best of his seasons because it was just him going to Citi Field and be like, hey, can I get a baseball? Hey guys, this is Zach Hampel here. I'm going to be outside of Citi Field running around the parking lot. Also, I take credit.
Hey guys, this is Zach Hampel here, and you're listening to the Why So Serious show on Blaze Radio.
Also, I take credit for that because I asked him to come on the show or my other podcast for the Cortland Crush. I asked him to come on, and he said no, he didn't want to think about baseball at that point. And so I said, okay, well, have fun with whatever you do this season. Hopefully you run around the parking lot at Citi Field trying to find baseball and post it on YouTube. And I take full credit for that video and think I should take some profits off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Not going to lie, I should definitely have some of those profits, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And if you want to go political here, I don't care.
There are a lot of what are we doing that we could do political, so I'm just going to keep it to this one. I'm not sure if this is the Cowboys' fault or the Steelers' fault, but I'm going to blame on the Cowboys for actually getting my hopes up that the Cowboys could beat the Steelers at home, the undefeated Steelers. I said this before the game. The game doesn't exist because I can't watch it in the state of Arizona. The game doesn't exist. I can't see it. It just didn't ever happen. Then all of a sudden the Cowboys get up by 10, and they're up by 10 in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, okay, this game exists. I'm gonna try to watch this, and then rips the heart out.
Yeah, I never watch Washington football team games in Arizona. Like I never find something to watch that on. It never happens.
Never happens.
Also, I totally buy the jerseys that I get from, NFLshop.com. $100. Yep, 100% authentic.
Yeah, and I the only way I can watch the Cowboys if they're not on national TV is if I use my DirecTV package or excuse me, my NFL Sunday ticket.
Yeah, I definitely have Sunday. I'm gonna get Sunday ticket for this weekend actually.
Yeah, how about that?
Definitely.
Aren't they on a bye?
No, we had our bye. We had our bye the week before this one. But yeah, that's a good. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
My what are we doing is just a whole collection of things. Arizona State special teams play.
Yep.
We went over that. The Washington football team losing to the Giants yesterday hurt.
Yep.
We need to beat the Giants. We always go splitsies with the Giants. I think they beat us twice this year though. Danny Dimes is for some reason very, very good against Washington. It's like
I think they're only 2 wins.
Yep. But still in sole possession of second place, Washington football team, and we finally have a real quarterback playing. So I'm excited for that. I like I mentioned, Liberty and Virginia Tech, horrible. Just you can't lose that game in Lane Stadium. Yeah, it's not 66,000 screaming fans standing under Sandman, but it's still, you can't lose to Liberty in Lane Stadium. It's a disgrace to the program's history. Beamer ball is completely erased, and they need to start from scratch because they're in a very, very risky territory right now of becoming just another team. Just another team. Just like Jag is just another guy. Gordon Hayward, just another guy. Jag, just another guy. And then Notre Dame's crowd.
Yeah, great. 100%.
And honestly, most of these crowds, like, of course, it's a huge moment and a moment that I'm not going to deny that I liked. But, even these celebrations for the presidential election victory, very large crowds in a very small street. And like you can like lean out of your apartment and, or go drive somewhere and just.
Like they were doing in Phoenix. Phoenix did a great job with that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But they did a great job with that. Lots of people honking horns and being on balconies. Good job, Phoenix.
There was the Stop the Count rallies with a bunch of people in no masks, and so I have a problem with those, of course.
Lots of rounds of ammunition, too.
What'd you say?
Lots of rounds of ammunition present.
Yeah, but luckily didn't see really any, like, big-time violence so far.
Yeah,
I actually thought that our country, I was very kind of proud of our country for not being, overly hostile, whatever you believe.
As of now,
As of now, I thought that our country, no matter what you believe, did a good job. So, we got a new president. That's not something that new president-elect. That's something that we should make sure that we mention. Not officially the presidential-elect until the Electoral College meets, but,
congratulations to Joe Biden and his family.
Even more congratulations to Kamala Harris.
Yep, right, yep, 100%.
First female vice president and first
black vice president, first South Asian vice president of South Asian descent,
and first Native American as well.
Yep.
Correct. Yep.
I believe. No, it's Indian American.
Okay.
So that's the South Asian. So Indian American.
Okay. So we need to do the polls. Couple of them today, just a couple. Is the McRib always back for good? 50-50 never happened before.
Never happened before.
And then we got a big 12 votes on football. 58% no.
What?
I don't know. Maybe it's because the people didn't want to see Jets and Patriots.
I mean, it is kind of late in America. It's maybe 4 a.m. or no, it's probably around 6 o'clock in the afternoon in Australia. I'm just gonna guess. Maybe that's where our votes come in. They're more like Aussie football.
Yeah, and maybe it was Adam Schefter having to wake up at 4 a.m. for yet another day of tweeting, and he was just tired of football and just answered no.
Put on the poll: is Adam Schefter ever tired of football?
I'm not gonna put that on the poll for the sake of time. Also, ESPN needs to bring back Chris Cody right away. That was tough news to hear. So follow us on Twitter at the letter Y So Serious Show, and we will see you later this week for the return of the alumni show.